Joining us now, a couple of people who have different views on this. Ben Jones is a former congressman and actor, and he supports the flying of the Confederate flag. Joe Beasley, meanwhile, is with the Rainbow Push Coalition. He opposes it. Good morning, gentlemen. We're so grateful to have both of you here.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thank you. So, Ben, I want to start with you. In light of everything that's happened in Charleston, why do you support? I think a lot of people, first off, want to know, why do you support the flying of the Confederate flag in the first place?
Christy, first of all, I'd like to say, I just heard my good friend, the Reverend Floyd Flake, an old colleague of mine, say that this could have happened anywhere. He's right. We're a country of over 300 million people. And if there are just a few thousand deranged people, then we have an enormous problem. And we've seen evidence of this. It's a much larger issue than the symbol of a war that was fought 150 years ago. Let me say clearly that we of all races suffer from this unspeakable act of evil, and that our hearts and our minds and our prayers are with those at Emmanuel AME Church. Further, let me say that there are 70 million Americans who are descended from the Confederacy. And when we say heritage, not hate, when we say pride, not prejudice, that is what we feel. We are not hateful people. We are loving people. I was in the civil rights movement. I've always fought for the rights of all of my brothers and sisters, and I think Dr. King had it right. The sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners should be sitting together at the table of brotherhood, and in this case, generating light rather than heat. And when people use these awful incidents like this to make political hay, I think it's wrong. And I think
Mr. Jones, you can understand why this
reflective period about this.
You can understand why this is a very divisive issue for so many people, yes? The Confederate flag.
Well, I've dealt. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, I hear what you're saying. I frankly believe that 98% of the display of the flag is benign and well-intentioned, and intention and context are very important when we talk about this thing.
Okay.
We mean no. It is intention. If it's seen in a film or on the Dukes of Hazzard, which I was on, in a positive light, it's a harmless thing. I've seen it on bags of rice and on travel posters and things like that.
Okay, I want to.
It represents a spirit, and there are those obviously hate groups and white supremacists like these idiots who have maligned it and desecrated it by using it as a hateful symbol.
Okay, so Joe.
There's no doubt about that, but we do not.
Okay, I understand that. Ben, thank you for clarifying. Joe, he says that it's benign. How do you feel? Help us understand.
Well, it really is deeper than that. We have to go back a long ways to really kind of understand that. You know, when we were brought to this country from Africa to work and to be servants and to be, we were simply a commodity.
So when you see that flag flying,
when I see
help
that
us understand
flag,
how that feels.
It really it's alienating. I was recently in Montgomery, Alabama, to deal with the march from Selma to Montgomery. And I happened to drive to the back of the state capitol in Alabama, and that Confederate flag is flying there. And it was very offensive to me because it is a symbol of hate, it's a symbol of divisiveness, it's a symbol of rebellion. And I think that in such a time that people understand that and have the sensitivity that it's about human degradation, then we're going to have issues and problems. And to hear this former congressman still, in the face of all of this, maintain that attitude, it suggests that he's either, you know, not a very sensitive man, or he's not an honest man.
Well, there was Marion Kimpson, who's a South Carolina state senator, who said there's been a great debate over the last several days about removing divisive symbols. We need to take symbols of the past down in South Carolina and put those symbols in places like museums where history is appropriately recorded. We will have to wait and see if anything like that happens. But Ben Jones, Joe Beasley, we appreciate both of your thoughts here. Thank you so much.
I just had a personal attack on me. Can I respond?
Yes, go right ahead, Ben.
Yeah, that's just a terribly inappropriate thing to say. We're trying to build bridges here. Slavery existed under the American flag for a long, long time, and from 1619 on. And to accuse my ancestors of being hateful and racist and all this stuff is just...
But Ben, owning another person
it's absolutely
is seen as hatred.
a wrong-headed thing to say. It's much more complex than that. Slavery was a northern industry. The profits went to Wall Street. The North had slavery. It promulgated it under the American flag. And you want to leave all of this outrage
that kind of tirade
on me.
is what is a cancer that's growing in our country.
I'm not questioning your integrity, sir.
Well, I'm not questioning
your
either,
integrity.
But your
You did.
insistence that
You did indeed.
we need to
You said I was
have
dishonest.
this divisive symbol flying amongst us, it belies your preachments.
It's obviously something that I know that you all, it's a huge debate. A lot of people have very strong feelings and very passionate feelings on both sides of it. And again, we appreciate both of your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm being told, Ben, did you want to finish something there? Did you have one more thing you wanted to say, Ben?
Absolutely. I think that this kind of divisiveness that I hear turns people against people. We are not hateful people. We do not see it as a hateful symbol. We understand that people can feel differently about it. We understand that our flag has been desecrated. We know that slavery is the national sin from 1619 on,
Well,
not the southern sin.
When are you going to, do something about repaying the people that worked for 246 years in this country for free?
I'm all for that, sir. I'm all for that.
So you're for reparations? You're for reparations?
No, I'm not for reparations.
Well, why aren't you then?
But
why aren't you for reparations? Why aren't you for reparations? If you work for 246 years and don't get any money...
My people were indentured. They were brought here too, basically as slaves, as commodities.
No. The lie that you came here seeking religious freedom is just a bald-faced lie. And under such time as we begin to deal with reality, we're going to have these kind of conflicts.
Obviously, this is a conflict that is going to continue on. There are so many discussions that have to go on, and a lot of people say there are hearts that need to change so we can get beyond it.
I'm willing to sit with you at any table at any time, at the table of brotherhood.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll see if we can make that happen. We will see if we can make that happen. Gentlemen, we would love for that to happen and bring some healing and peace here. Thank you so much.